Mistress. The scandal involved a powerful man and his secret mistress. Marrow. The rich and nutritious marrow was extracted from the bones for soup. Hatred. The novel explored the destructive force of deep-seated hatred. Grill. He decided to grill some burgers for the family barbecue. Corpse. The detective examined the crime scene, focusing on the lifeless corpse. Sober. After a night of partying, he woke up feeling completely sober. Peel. She used a knife to peel the skin off the ripe banana. Larger. The new house was much larger than the previous one. Infected. The wound became red and swollen, indicating that it was infected. Humanity. Acts of kindness and compassion showcase the best of humanity. Electrical. He studied electrical engineering to understand the principles of electricity. Distraction. The constant noise outside became a major distraction during work. Chopper. The sound of a helicopter, or chopper, echoed through the city. Cart. She filled the shopping cart with groceries for the week. Broadcast. The news anchor prepared to broadcast the latest updates to the audience. Violation. Any violation of the rules would result in strict consequences. Suspend. The school decided to suspend the troublemaker for a week. Sting. The bee's sting caused a painful reaction on her arm. Promising. The young artist showed promising talent in his early works. Harassment. The company had strict policies against workplace harassment. Glue. She used glue to fix the broken pieces of the vase. Gathering. A large gathering of people assembled for the concert. Deer. The graceful deer grazed peacefully in the meadow. Cursed. The old mansion was rumored to be cursed by a vengeful spirit. Content. The website provided a variety of content for its users. Combat. The soldiers trained for intense combat situations. Brutal. The crime scene was a brutal display of violence. Asset. His quick decision-making was considered a valuable asset. Warlock. In fantasy stories, a warlock is often a male witch with dark powers. Wagon. The children enjoyed a ride in the horse-drawn wagon. Unpleasant. The smell from the garbage was quite unpleasant. Tan. After a day at the beach, she had a sun-kissed tan. Robot. The robot efficiently performed repetitive tasks in the factory. Lease. They signed a lease agreement for the apartment. Killer. The detective pursued the elusive serial killer. Flame. The candle's flame flickered in the gentle breeze. Domestic. The couple shared responsibilities for various domestic chores. Divine. The ancient temple was considered a place of divine worship. Disappearance. The sudden disappearance of the treasure baffled the archaeologists. Depressing. The gloomy weather contributed to a depressing mood. Thrill. The roller coaster ride provided an exhilarating thrill. Terminal. The patient's condition was terminal, and the doctors could do little. Rib. He felt a sharp pain in his side, near his rib. Knew. She always knew that he would come back one day. Flush. The toilet wouldn't flush, causing a plumbing issue. Exception. Everyone is subject to the rules, with no exception. Earring. She lost her favorite earring while shopping. Deadline. The team worked diligently to meet the project deadline. Corporal. The corporal led the soldiers with discipline and courage. Update. He received an update on the latest software improvements. Smack. The sound of a smack echoed through the boxing ring. Melt. The ice cream began to melt under the hot sun. Madness. The chaotic scene was pure madness. Eagle. The majestic eagle soared high in the sky. Delusional. The patient's belief in imaginary scenarios was considered delusional. Could. Despite the challenges, she believed she could overcome them. Burnt. The toast was slightly burnt around the edges. Tender. The meat was cooked until it was perfectly tender. Sperm. The process of fertilization involves the union of an egg and sperm. Realize. She didn't realize the impact of her words until later. Pork. The chef prepared a savory dish using marinated pork. Interrogation. The detective conducted a thorough interrogation of the suspect. Institution. The university is a reputable institution for higher education. Esteem. Building self-esteem is essential for personal growth. Communication. Effective communication is key in any relationship. Choir. The church choir sang beautifully during the service. Undo. Unfortunately, some mistakes are difficult to undo. Plague. The town faced a severe outbreak of the plague. Manipulate. The con artist attempted to manipulate the situation. Lifestyle. Adopting a healthy lifestyle contributes to overall well-being. Insulting. His insulting remarks offended many people. Honor. The medal was a symbol of his outstanding honor. Detention. Students who misbehaved were given detention after school. Delightful. The garden was filled with delightful flowers. Daisy. She picked a fresh daisy and put it in a vase. Coffee house. The cozy coffee house was a popular spot for locals. Chess. The intense game of chess required strategic thinking. Betrayal. The betrayal of a close friend left her heartbroken. Apologizing. Apologizing sincerely can mend relationships. Whipped. The chef whipped the cream until it formed soft peaks. Reminder. Setting a reminder on the phone helps in not forgetting important tasks. Fame. The actor achieved international fame for his performance. Faint. She felt faint at the sight of blood. Confusion. The complex instructions caused confusion among the team. Sang. The choir sang beautifully during the concert. Nearest. The nearest grocery store is just a block away. Illusion. The magician created a captivating illusion on stage. Execution. The flawless execution of the plan led to success. Distress. The news of the accident caused great distress to the family. Cutter. He used a cutter to trim the edges of the paper. Correctly. It's essential to follow the instructions correctly to get accurate results. Complaint. Filing a complaint with customer service is the next step. Trophy. The team proudly displayed the championship trophy. Pointless. Engaging in a pointless argument is a waste of time. Pearl. The necklace was adorned with a beautiful white pearl. Heir. The eldest son was the designated heir to the family fortune. Eighth. She finished the race in 8th place. Shiny. The newly polished car had a bright and shiny exterior. Mint. The fresh scent of mint filled the garden. Keeper. The valuable artifact was placed in a secure keeper. Hose. He used a garden hose to water the plants. Hobby. Collecting stamps became her favorite hobby. Fitting. The tailor ensured that the dress was a perfect fitting. Curtain. She drew back the curtain to let in the morning sunlight. Counseling. Professional counseling can provide emotional support. Wit. His sharp wit and humor made him a popular speaker. Technical. The manual provides detailed technical instructions. Puppet. The puppeteer skillfully manipulated the strings of the puppet. Modeling. The fashion show featured the latest trends in runway modeling. Irresponsible. Neglecting one's duties is considered irresponsible behavior. Humiliation. The public humiliation was a blow to his pride. Felony. Committing a serious crime can lead to a felony charge. Choke. He began to choke on the food, prompting quick intervention. Blackmailing. Blackmailing is a criminal offense with severe consequences. Tabloid. The scandalous story made headlines in the gossip tabloid. Rally. The team held a motivational rally before the championship game. Pledge. The students took a solemn pledge to uphold the school's values. Nursery. The nursery was filled with colorful toys and playful designs. Louder. The music grew louder as the concert reached its peak. Investigator. The diligent investigator gathered evidence for the case. Ignite. The match was struck to ignite the campfire. Homecoming. The annual homecoming event brought alumni back to campus. Graduated. She proudly graduated with honors from the university. Frustrating. Dealing with technical issues can be incredibly frustrating. Fabric. The dress was made from a luxurious and silky fabric. Dot. The artist added a final dot to complete the masterpiece. Distant. The mountain range looked distant on the horizon. Cock. The rooster's cock a doodle-doo signaled the morning. Bustle. The city's bustle was a stark contrast to the peaceful countryside. Buff. He worked out regularly to maintain a strong and muscular buff physique. Wax. She applied a layer of wax to protect the wooden furniture. Sleeve. The dress had intricate embroidery on the sleeve. Irony. The irony of the situation was not lost on him. Dope. The detective uncovered a hidden stash of illegal dope. Torch. He carried a flashlight that also functioned as a torch. Substitute. In the absence of the regular teacher, a substitute took charge. Scandal. The political scandal dominated headlines for weeks. Prick. A small prick from a thorn caused her finger to bleed. Limb. The injured bird struggled to fly with a damaged limb. Laser. The precision of the laser cut through the toughest material. Hysterical. The comedian's performance left the audience in hysterical laughter. Growth. The company experienced rapid growth in the past year. Dimension. The room had an expansive dimension that made it feel spacious. Clip. She fastened her hair with a decorative clip. Climbing. Climbing the steep mountain required endurance and skill. Ultimately, the decision rested with the board of directors. Roller. The amusement park had a thrilling roller coaster ride. Negotiate. The business partners met to negotiate the terms of the deal. Millennium. The event marked the beginning of a new millennium. Marsh. The wetlands were covered with tall grasses and surrounded by a marsh. Majority. The majority of the audience applauded the performance. Lethal. The snake's venom was potentially lethal. Deed. The old document was a legal deed to the property. Cigar. The gentleman enjoyed a fine cigar after dinner. Bore. The monotonous lecture was a real bore. Babysitter. The parents hired a responsible babysitter for the evening. Sponge. She used a damp sponge to clean the kitchen counter. Sleepy. The baby became sleepy after a soothing lullaby. Peek. He took a quick peek through the window to see who was outside. Outrageous. Her choice of outfit was considered outrageous by conservative standards. Medal. The athlete proudly displayed the gold medal she won in the competition. Grudge. Despite the apology, he held on to a lingering grudge. Driveway. The car pulled into the long and winding driveway leading to the mansion. Deserted. The old house appeared deserted and abandoned. Definite. There was no room for uncertainty. The answer was definite. Beep. The car emitted a loud beep as a warning. Weed. The gardener worked hard to remove the unwanted weed from the flower bed. Nickname. His friends affectionately called him by his childhood nickname. Conviction. The lawyer fought for her client's conviction to be overturned. Weigh. It's essential to weigh the pros and cons before making a decision. Rocket. The spacecraft launched into space with the power of a powerful rocket. Intruder. The security system alerted them to the presence of an intruder. Fur. The soft fur of the kitten was comforting to the touch. Herb. The recipe called for a specific herb to enhance the flavor. Cycle. The changing seasons mark the natural cycle of life. Hardware. The computer store specialized in selling various types of hardware. Wealthy. The businessman lived a lavish lifestyle as a result of being wealthy. Versus. The match was a competition between two strong teams, Team A versus Team B. Sip. She took a small sip of the hot tea to savor the flavor. Postpone. Due to unforeseen circumstances, they had to postpone the event. Celebrity. The celebrity was surrounded by fans seeking autographs. Offensive. His comments were deemed offensive and inappropriate. Mug. The coffee mug was filled to the brim with a hot beverage. Hairy. The situation became hairy as tensions escalated. Bedtime. The children resisted going to bedtime without hearing a bedtime story. Alcoholic. She struggled with her alcoholic tendencies and sought help. Sticky. The candy left a sticky residue on their fingers. Splendid. The view from the mountaintop was absolutely splendid. Shrimp. The chef prepared a delicious dish using fresh shrimp. Despise. Despite their history, she couldn't help but despise him. Atmosphere. The cozy restaurant had a warm and inviting atmosphere. Rifle. The hunter aimed the rifle carefully at the target. Handwriting. Her handwriting was elegant and easy to read. Shepherd. The shepherd guided the flock of sheep through the meadow. Importance. The teacher emphasized the importance of regular attendance. Fatal. The car crash had fatal consequences, leading to loss of life. Separation. The couple decided on a trial separation to reassess their relationship. Method. The scientist followed a rigorous method to conduct the experiment. Diagnosis. The doctor provided a thorough diagnosis of the patient's condition.